welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, I know that. I've had quite a bit on today, but I'll see if I can get a little bit of extra footage with you today. I've had a bit of a busy morning. One of the particular sites that I go to, it's a bit of a difficult one. It's not practical to try and film it, but I will do. Just bear with a second, we'll just move some cones. Oh wow! Sorry about that. We have a one-way system at our depot, and it's kind of one way in, one way out kind of thing for me and the public as well, which are separate from one second. This I've got it. There we go. Now I know where I'm up to. I was losing my marbles then. Let me just get this sorted out and then we'll crack on. Out of sequence. It's because I want it out of sequence. One of these days it'll just be push a button and go. Here it comes. For what it is, it's a busy yard. We are very busy. There is a camera on the back as well, so you'll be able to I'll be able to flick between the footage when I get home and edit it. One of the jobs I'm going to, I went to yesterday, and
just ahead, turn right.
Turn these things down a bit because they'll be talking. Yeah, one of the jobs I went to on Tuesday, and I got caught for the school run. Never get caught in the school run. Wow. So many people trying to get the kids back in school. They've obviously clearly had enough of them. Yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying, I've not had much time to do much filming. And part of that is obviously being busy. And another part of that is, over the last 2 weeks or so, I've had CPC courses. Now, for those that don't know what CPC courses are, it is part of it's part of your driving license. It's basically a certificate, of professional conduct. And it's not an exam. You don't do any written tests. You don't do, you know, any like 9 out of 10 scores or anything like that. There's nothing quite like that. It's more to do with your knowledge as a driver from anything over 3.5 tons. And we've got a traffic light repair guy carrying one across the road. Nearly got wiped out. Yeah, so as I was saying, it's a CPC. It's about your knowledge as a driver, as a class 2 driver, class 1 driver, or wagon and drag, whichever. And it kind of, how do you explain it? It's kind of reinforcing what you know. So, for instance, Sometimes it's classroom work, but obviously with this COVID, it's not done by classroom now. It's done by internet, just like a video call, and you'll watch a monitor, and the host, who will put the information on screen, and you just read through it. And obviously, with it being like a video FaceTime thing, you can talk to that person, and they do all the keyboard work. You don't have to touch anything, which is just as well, because I'm useless with computers. I can switch it on, switch it off, and throw it in the bin. That's it. So, yeah, my CPC courses started 2 weeks ago, and the first one I did with this particular branch, I won't mention the name of the guy, the host, because you know it's not fair. At the end of the day, he's just doing a job. But there's different courses involved. There's manual handling, there's road safety, tachographs and analog, which we don't use analog anymore. It's all digital. Your analog tachograph went out in 2006. We all now carry digicards. I think there's very few vehicles that have an analog tachograph, to be very honest. With the way that the laws have been changing, and drivers' hours and working time directives are being monitored, everything is now digital. There's actually what you call smart tachographs, and what happens with them is they work on a Bluetooth wireless system. And I've got a class 2 trailer right up the back end of me. You don't learn, but you can clearly see I am only doing 50 miles an hour. So why is he doing 56? Never mind. If you could see behind me, you'd be thinking, wow, it's a bit close. I can clearly see his face. So yeah, smart tachographs that work on a Wi-Fi Bluetooth system. What happens with that is you put your card in the morning, you do all your setup and your checks and blah blah, and then when you go out on the road, your tachograph is giving off a signal. Now, for any signal that is being monitored by the VOSA, or you know, maybe the police, what they can do is they used to pull you over. They used to take a look at your vehicle. You know, if you was, say, maybe overweight, or you look like you was overweight or something like that, or they wanted to do a vehicle defect, they'd actually come up behind you, monitor you, then come up the right hand side of you, pull in front, flash on a sign saying follow me, and then they'd follow you'd follow them to a lay-by, maybe possibly a weighbridge, which is what they work off. And then obviously when you get there, they'd take your card out, they'd download your card, check your vehicle for defects and check your load that you're carrying, so on and so on. Smart tachographs, they don't do that anymore. Well, they don't have to. What actually happens is they can ride up behind you, tune into your station that your tachograph is giving off, and read it without even having to take your card out and dip it. Dipping the card is another term for putting it into a system, into a little device that reads your card, a bit like when you put your bank card into a cash point, and it just downloads all the information. Your digicard is about the same. It is the same as your normal bank card, and it's exactly the same thing. It has a chip in the middle of it, which I'll show you at some point. And what it does is it records your hours of driving, hours of working, and the speeds, and you know, speeds and times travelled. So basically, if I'm driving for 10 minutes at 50 miles an hour on a dual carriageway or motorway, whichever, then that's what it will record. And if I stop or start at any time, like I am at the lights, the tachograph at the top here changes from like a drive motion to a cross hammers, which is working. So now it's recording that I'm working. Bizarre, I know, but I'm actually sat here behind the cab. In the eyes of the Or if I'm not driving, then I'm working. Even though I'm still sat behind the wheel. It's a bit of a odd thing to understand, but it's how they work it out. So going back to my CPC courses, as I said, they are interesting in a way, and you can have 3 or 4 different drivers from each different branch up and down the country, and you'll all have ideas or views on how to make our roads better, how to improve your knowledge as a driver, the awareness of other drivers, which is quite a common thing we come across, is car drivers who don't understand the dynamics of a HGV. Either they don't understand or they just don't care. Either one. So you're looking at dealing with people that are not acknowledged or basically just don't care, because that's, that happens as well. Unfortunately, you do get people that just don't care. And like I said, it's all about just being. Sorry, I've just arrived at the first job, and as usual, these places are so unorganised. I'm going to have to go and speak to these guys in a second. Give me 5 minutes and be right back. Wow, was that or was that not an awkward job? You'll notice that some of the jobs that I go to, even though I edit the videos and the footage and stuff like that, and add all the little bells and whistles as I go along, they're never that straightforward. The last job that I did, the last video I did for you was about a month ago, and which I hope you like that video, by the way. Yeah, it took some work. I'm not very good with computers and footage and editing, but I was quite pleased with that. But yeah, that footage, it was probably about 3 or 4 hours long, all edited down to about 30 minutes. And it'll be the same today when I do this one, later on tonight, tomorrow, when it does get edited and then posted. Let's just pull off this street. Let's pull up here for 2 seconds actually. And go up the road just a little bit, but nothing major. Let's just get some writing done in this. This takes up most of your time, this. It does. There we go, Smith, that'll do it. New sign, John Smith. Leave, done, yes. Okay, next job. Now this is the job I went to on Tuesday, and I got caught in the school run. So I got there about 10 to 9, quarter to 9, and everyone was there. And they was all kicking the kids out to school, which they're probably all relieved about, to be honest. There we go. So, setting off the beacons and lights, we are going right. So we're going into Hazel Grove now. Is it Hazel Grove, what did I say? Yeah, Hazel Grove we're going into. This one's fairly straightforward, it's just straight on the driveway, really. Block paving, mostly. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, CPCs and tachographs. The idea of the CPC is that it just makes you more aware, and you'll be sat in a classroom normally, but obviously with the COVID and people not being able to travel unless needed, essential travel, is now done online for the time being, and it might even be done online from now on, to be quite honest, which will suit everyone if it does, because it is a lot of messing about. People having to travel from all over the UK to come down to different depots and see drivers, so on, and talk about this. Sometimes they have someone who's local. When I worked at Biffa, we had a fella that would travel all over different Biffa branches, and yeah, you do your 7 hours with him. Now, on these CPCs that I've done, you do get the chance to put your views across. It's like I said, it's not a test, it's not an exam, you can't really fail it. But it is a qualification, it is an MVQ level 2. So at some point this week, next week, or even in a month's time, I'll get some type of certificate to say that my CPC has been updated, and it'll be extended for the next 5 years. Now, for those of you that do CPCs and have a CPC card like myself, you'll know that you can check on the DVLA. Now, the DVLA have all your driver's license details, your categories, what you're entitled to drive, so on, so on. And on the DVLA website, I can ask for a one-time password, which will put me straight to my personal information, and that will tell me when my next CPC course is, or when my actual CPC course entitlement runs out. So my last CPC course was in the September 16th 2017, and it runs out on the 16th of September 2022. So from here, from this last couple of weeks plus the 2 that I did last year, will take me over the next 5 years as of from next year, so I don't have to do any more for the time being. One moment. So it basically involves you and any other man or woman that does this job or any type of HGV work. Your views are what you think can make you more aware how to handle the road and your vehicle safely, and increase your knowledge of the laws, which is you must know them. If you don't, when you do something wrong, it's you that's in the firing line, so you do need to understand what you do as a driver and abide by them. At the end of the day, it's your licence and it is your home life as well. If you lose your entitlement, you lose your job. If you lose your job, you end up in a financial situation, and no one wants that. I certainly wouldn't want that. So you must be 110% on the ball of what you're doing in any type of work that involves machinery, not just trucks, but even machinery, from the pallet truck to a forklift truck to a truck. You know, you must know what you're doing. So it was actually quite interesting to do. The first one that I did 2 weeks ago, and whether it was the person or the course, I won't really comment, but it bored me to tears, because it goes over the same thing: manual handling. Now, we all know what manual handling is. It's an action given to items that you're carrying. I mean, on your persons, not on the vehicle. So if you want to lift a heavy box, you don't know if it's heavy until you get there, and the first thing you do is what they call dynamic assessment, self-dynamic assessment. You give that box a nudge. That tells you how heavy that box possibly is or how light it is, and that's how then you go about whether knowing you can lift it or not. And that's what that course was the other week. It was on and on and on about how to lift something. In all fairness, these Health and Safety Acts have been out since about 1994, and they're a little undated and very droning. If you can't lift something, you wouldn't do it. But some people like to show off and they will do it, and that's where the injury comes from. They've done it themselves. I can lift it, look at me, and they pull the back out. So yeah, take notice of it. But also, you know, it's on your own back to be aware of your own personal strengths and your own methods. You know, if you can't lift something and you force yourself to, is it really worth snapping your back? No. But you'll spend about 5-6 hours listening to that. But the rest of the courses that followed, Friday's course, Monday's course, I did only do 3 courses with this company because I've already done 2 before. When they sent me down south in October last year to put me through my crane licence for these guys, they actually did my CPC course there as well, so that counts as 4 with this place. And my first CPC was with my previous company of Biffa, which they actually did on a Saturday morning for 7 hours. That wasn't so bad. And again, it's down to the host, how interesting they make it. They do little quizzes, they do, you know, they do videos. And some of the videos that I watched the last couple of days was quite heartbreaking, because someone's lost their life over a silly driver, basically. And so they do show you quite a lot of I won't say graphic, but it's, well, shocking footage is more the word. I don't know if anyone remembers the incident regarding the truck driver that was changing music on his iPhone or a music device, and he crashed his Arctic. Bear in mind, this is not a small truck. This is a 40-foot, 20 or 30 ton vehicle into a bunch of cars, killing the first few and injuring others. And all because he was too busy distracted messing around with what music he wanted to listen to in his cab. Now, there was actually inside footage from his vehicle. I don't remember the guy's name, but you can look it up on YouTube. Whichever wording you want to put in, I'd just put it down as truck accident, driver on the phone or something like that. You'll find it. It's not hard to do. But yeah, the footage clearly shows him not paying attention to where he was going. He was on a motorway or dual carriageway of something, and at the last minute it was too late to stop, and he killed a family and injured many others. So he automatically faces the sentence for careless driving. I personally wouldn't want that on my conscience. That's why you guys are hands-free, and you're only activated before this vehicle moves, or long distances, so I can rabbit on for whatever remainder of this journey and not have to touch us. And although I can see her, I can still see everything else. So you've got to be very clear on your actions. So I can pay attention to everything that is coming towards me and not have to touch you until I stop. And as for the footage on the back, well, that's done when I get home. So, if you're going to have fun with your job, and this is fun, this is something that people enjoy doing. I enjoy doing it, but I wouldn't want it to get in the way and cause an accident, because at the end of the day, this is for fun and personal and educational reasons, and this job is for financial and living. And which one outweighs the other? Clearly my job. Now you can see it, I'm coming up to the school. You won't see it on this device, but you will on the rear camera. I'm coming up to a school, which I didn't realise. I think there's two of them. There's one here and one there. And it was the busiest street I'd ever been to. I've never known so many primary schools or secondary schools in areas over the years when I was growing up. Now it's like one every corner. There must be at least 3 schools on every estate. But we've missed the 9 o'clock rush, because it is now 10:35. And we won't get boxed in either. Yeah, there was a school back there, and there's one here on the left. There we go. I'm just trying to beat the customer, well, the guy who's working on it, and he doesn't know I'm here. Well, he does now. My God. I wouldn't want to be in pushing that backer plate. Looks like he's taking him with him. Is that yours? What we'll do is we'll pull back a little bit because I'm blocking the road. And yeah, as soon as you pull up, someone gets in the car to come out, and it'll be, are you going to be long? Yeah, probably. There's someone there just leaving in the car now and someone else, so we'll just make a little bit of room, make everyone's day and my job a little bit easier as well. Oh, he's moving it. He's moving it in a place where I won't be able to get through in the next few minutes. It's not going to work. Never mind. Well then. This is the tricky bit, just lining up nicely. There's some telephone cables above me, so I need to line up in a point where I can kind of get the stuff off, and I can't actually see it. This guy's got a way too big car for his driveway. His car's that square, it looks like a bar of soap on wheels. It's just square and long. And it's an automatic, that's a lazy boy's car. Right guys, I shall see you on the delivery side. See you for now. There we go, there we go. Another successful delivery. Right. Now then, if I remember rightly, I think I got out of here by going straight up the main road. Can't exactly remember. It's not the first time I've been here. Oh, excuse me. Can't wait till weekend. It's my Saturday off this weekend. I've done 3 on the go. I've got stuff to do at home as well. Burning the candle at both ends, it's not good. You do get tired. Right, next. Yes, no, yes, no. Here we go. Yep, finished. Not a clue. Bramwell, I think it was. It's asking for the name, I can't remember. Just put Bramwell. There you go. Signed off. Super duper fine. Doesn't look like a bad little estate, this place, to be honest. And there we go. Right. Shall we crack on? There we go. Just wait for that car to pass. So it's saying I can turn right and get out from the top. So we shall see. It's like being on the bins again trying to squeeze through cars. And double parking is a major issue on roads. If you double park, you cause an obstruction for a larger vehicle. Try curbing it, that usually works. Anyway guys, anyway. Enough of me yapping. Thought I'd do another video because like I said, it has been a month since I've done the last video. And I have had some very busy days. I was bidding on a new camera, one better than the GoPro that I've got now, but the bid just went through the roof for what it was worth, so I stopped bidding. But if it had been at the price it was at, I'd have got it, and it would have made editing and footage a lot better, because I wouldn't have to mess about with SD cards as much and get footage done there and then. This takes me a good 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours to go through and edit, and just to make it shorter for you guys, because no doubt the footage that's on the back of here is probably an hour long, which I will fast forward in parts, and obviously the footage of me on this phone is a good 40 minutes, an hour long. And I'm sure you guys don't want to listen to me rabbiting all the time. So, little old day there, just crossed the road, didn't even look my direction. It wouldn't have done her any favours if I wouldn't have seen her. Hey, thank you. From the driver. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, guys, the next stop is for Aswood, and that's to pick up some stuff, and I believe it's being returned back to my depot. So I'll leave you with the fast forward of the bay footage. I'll speak to you on the next job. See you for now.
I've been feeling so small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Lay my troubles to rest, blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Look at the beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes.